What's up, guys? This is Void of Dust Gaming, your channel for fresh arena of Valor content. And talking about fresh, I've got a game for you that I have just played today. Of course, you're going to see that in the future, and I have just picked Moren in a game with two of my mates. We will have Maganga on the mid lane, and we will have Florentino in the jungle that have been picked by mates of myself. The rest of the team has been completed by randoms. But nonetheless, I think Moren is actually a pretty fun hero to play. And therefore, I wanted to show my equipment with you. And as you can see, we are focusing mainly on getting some crit damage. But all in all, the basic theme of this build is to build as much attack speed as possible. Therefore, we've got Blitzblade in here, we've got the Devil's Handshake, and we've got, of course, Fafnir's Talon, which is actually quite nice on Moren, because you're building not only attack speed, but some lifesteal, and that is going to help out in the late game a lot. That said, Arcana-wise, I'm in this case focusing on more some sort of subtle marksman build with attack damage, physical penetration, and some movement speed. I'm not going on the crit stuff because I just think that pure damage is actually quite nice on Moren, because he's going to have so much attack speed because of his S1 and all the items that you have seen in the item build. And I just wanted to figure out if that is something that is possible to play. And spoiler is, it is possible. And enchantment-wise, I've decided to go with Alchemy because I think that this is going to help Moren to be more sorts of a mid to late game hero instead of the late game hero that he has always been. Moren has always been a champion who is more sorts of positioned in some sort of late game advantage, but in this case we're going to try to build him in the mid game with all of his items because of the gold that we're getting from Alchemy. To fix it up, I've picked Restore as well as Instant Deprivation to kill minions a little bit quicker and get even better clearing speed. It's going to be really crazy in the late game stages where we've got a couple of items, so waves are not really something that we need to worry about. And in the second line, I've chosen Mana Flow because we're going to spam our S1 quite constantly, and then I'm using Consecrated here to get even better chances, to get some good chances, and I think that sums up the build quite nicely. So if you like this kind of content and you haven't subscribed to the channel, I can only ask you to put your finger on the subscription button and put on the notifications bell to never miss any of my videos. Of course, likes are highly appreciated. And if you've got any thoughts on AD, carries, marksman, or the game itself, or Moren, just put it down in the comment section below. It's free to use, so go for it. And now I've got some lovely gameplay for you. Enjoy! Alright, here we are in the actual game, and in this case I picked Gilded Greaves over the attack speed item because, as I said, you will get a lot of attack speed just because you have this S1 which is fueling your attack speed over the time, and you're going to be someone who is able to fight quite quickly. As you can see, the randoms that have been filled up the team, or that have been filling up the team, are in this case Aram, and we're starting an early gank or an early invade, but the Yawn and your Roxy player were already aware of that, so we basically retreated immediately back to our lane to get some damage done here. And we've got Sinestria as the 5th player in our team with a quite unique position. She's playing the solo laner, and we're going to see how this works out. And I think that's actually quite nice to see people play different roles outside the normal positioning, just to see if it works and if people are actually capable of using that. So be prepared for Sinestria action. I was surprised how good it worked, but that might just be because of the other player on the opposing side, and of course, just because it worked out once doesn't mean that this is the new choice for Sinestria, but we're going to see for ourselves how well Sinestria is performing in this very matchup. So yeah, here we go. A lot of things are happening right now at the bottom lane. I don't know why everyone was gathering around here. We did not send out an invitation. I tried to clear my lane before entering the fight because I just thought that this might be actually quite useful. And most of the time we are going to see that Maganga is getting a lot of the kills just because of his poison stacks mechanics, and we will just run a little bit behind, getting a lot of assists at the early stages of the game, because our damage is of course not really that good because we are missing items. So Necroth enters the fight, and there's just one thing that I need to say about Necroth, or I need to point out about Necroth right at this very early part of this video. I just think that this Necroth player, and I haven't looked it up afterwards, I just think that this Necroth player has not really that much experience on Necroth, because otherwise Necroth is so powerful right now in the game. He has been buffed, he is super mobile, he has a lot of valid targets here in this game, and I just think that this Necroth player hasn't seen that much of experience or battlefield time on this hero, and therefore he's not going to play Necroth to his fullest potential, which is sad for the enemy team. But I just think it's important to highlight this, because I think the game would have looked a little bit different if that Necroth would have been up to the fullest potential that this hero brings to the battlefield, because Necroth is a really strong choice right now. And I've got another game up for you guys in my Your Games, my review part, which is unfortunately only in German because all the players submitting videos are German players, but there will be an exceptional Necroth game where you guys might just learn some new tricks about him, and be prepared for that because it's one of the upcoming videos in the next day. So yeah, Necroth is powerful, and he is a force that you need to reckon with, because he is going to wreck teams otherwise if you don't really pay that much of attention. Erim is doing a really good job here as a support. She's grappling people, she's trying to harass them most of the times, being pretty much up front. So I had a good time playing the AD carry here, and as you can see, we're going back and forth here in order to make the day for our enemy team to be as painful as possible, putting constant pressures on the lanes, especially the mid and the dual lane, because right now, as you can see, the top lane is basically back and forth, and nothing really happened so far. I mean, there has been this one kill where Zuka was able to farm an early Sinestria, but I think she now got it under control. She plays a little bit more defensively, and the thing is, as she is now having her ultimate, she can trade even better right now, because it just means that you're going to apply damage on her. And I think the solo lane is some really good environment for this, because it just means that you're going to fight her, and as soon as you whittle her down to half health, she starts to trade with you, because she can just push ult button and she's able to get back some health that she draws from the enemy pool. So another kill for Maganga, as you can see, 5 stacks on ourselves already. That means that 5 stack have been already applied to the Roxy, and unfortunately, of course, she's going to die. Unfortunately for her, because I really enjoyed it, and Sinestro now finally has come to peace with Zuka, killing him for the first time, and this is not going to be the last kill, because she's going to be really aggressive right now and try to get a lot of damage on that. I don't know what this Necroth was about to do. As I said, I don't think that he is a super experienced player on Necroth, otherwise I would not understand what he was doing. And because my team was already fighting here on the dual lane, we were able to get not only some kills, but we managed to get the tower, and this is Alchemy. That's the magic of Alchemy. You just get so much gold. It's wonderful. So there's another objective cleared for us. And as you can see, we are doing a much better job right now on getting objectives. We have already broken down 2 towers. Now we secured the first objective in terms of one of the bigger monsters, receiving a damage buff right now, which is actually quite nice. And you should always try to focus on these things if you want to have the best out of your game. Yorn is still there. I don't know what he's doing. Trying to defend it, but here comes the shotgun approach, killing it. And he really wants me. I can tell that he really wants to fight me, but in this kind of case, I think he has already lost his motivation, because if you are watching the chat, or if you're taking a closer look on the chat, he's like, well, my team is not really going to make it. The performance is subpar. Yeah, stop this game right now. So he's not really willing to contribute anything to the fights. He's still playing, which I think is the right choice to do. A game is lost when a game is lost. Beforehand, it's just numbers. But of course, it is a little bit frustrating if you've got the feeling that your team is actually not really doing something. So we've got another kill for the Sinestra here, so she's doing a decent job on getting important targets, especially because she just picked the jungler, and that gives our jungler a much better time. He can now try to counter jungle or invade, but as you can see, we are already standing in their jungle. Like, the complete formation of us from our team has completely hovered around the enemy jungle, and now we are about to take the next tower. Florentino is about to get Zuka here. I'm just trying to push Roxy away from me because I do not want to get hooked. It wouldn't be too much of a pain because she did not have any backup here, but now I need to be a little bit careful, and unfortunately I was just standing next to a wall, no possibility to avoid all of this, and therefore I've been killed, but I've got the gold, and I don't know what Nekroth was doing here under tower. Trying to get Sinestra out here is something that is actually really difficult, if not possible at all. If she has ult up, you can't fight her under tower. It's just not worth it. You will get the tower shots, you will try to damage her, and as soon as she is low, she's just going to activate ultimate, and then she's going to fight you, and this is of course not something that you want to do because she has the damage. That's the problem about her. She's not a support, she's not a tank, she's got the damage, and she's an assassin. So she even got the range advantage. If you are a close combat hero, she can just basically outtrade you. Yeah, we put some damage here on that fight, putting Aram a little bit lower, but I think we kind of sorted it out quite nicely, not killing our Aram in the process, because that sometimes is a little bit difficult and dangerous. If she is hooking someone, you need to be careful and not trying to be super aggressive, because that just means that you're going to kill your own tank. And as we just have one tank in this battle, she is really important to our team fight. And yeah, Roxy is going to do something, but I don't really see what that was about to do. So I tried to get her. Unfortunately, I did not prioritize her at first, because otherwise I think that would have been a nice double kill. But as the game flow was on 25-15 already, I just had the feeling that I could be a little bit more funny in terms of doing things that you won't actually do, because I had the feeling that we had this game completely in control so far. That was my perception. I don't know how my teammates felt about this action, but I had the feeling that we were pretty good on dealing damage, because I think Nekroth is not the most experienced player. Diogen did not really use her CC to the fullest. That's another thing that the team of the enemies could have done a lot better. Diogen in combination with Yorn, so with great range and damage, and the CC from Diochen could have been a pain in the ass, but they did not really use it in terms of teamfight capabilities, and therefore we're taking just another tower on our way to the core. So nicely done. Another tower has been broken down, and now it's our time to get the inner tower. So there's just one tower standing between us and the victory, and I think that was really lackluster for the enemies, that they have not been able to defend our combined approach. Now there's Diochen coming in, but she's not really something that I need to take any actions towards instead of just using my S2. As I said, the attack speed on Moren is going to be crazy when you build some items and you can use the S1. As you can see, look at these shots. Wave clear is phenomenal on this champion, and I do understand why this champion is mostly recognized as a late game champion, because we are level 14 right now, 12 minutes have been played, so we definitely hit the late game, and Moren is just able to dish out tremendous amounts of damage, and it just feels so good. With those short legs, it just feels crazily good on how much damage we are about to put into the enemies. Look at that. We just kited that thing, and now we are back on full health because of Fafnir's. And yeah, this is about to be the last approach. We don't really need that much in advance to enter or to win the game. It's just about getting the enemies away from that tower. Zuka is fighting a fight I don't really get what he's about to do. Like, he needs to defend the base right now, trying to get the most vulnerable targets, which is, for example, me. Sinestria is a good target if you can make it, but yeah, I think he just kind of got lost in the situation because he's already been repelled from the fight. I'm sitting on a really comfortable 6-3. Feeling good so far. And now Zuka is trying to get our Sinestria, and we're going to see how this is going to end. Unfortunately for the Zuka, it doesn't look really good for him. So he's occupied. There's a double kill for our Maganga, who's tanking a lot. And now Sinestria is following up Zuka in the jungle. Of course, he's got the better mobility. His stats and his abilities are more sorts of working around this kind of mobility advantage. Of course, Sinestria is not able to follow him through the jungle, but she basically put him occupied, and I think that's really important. It's not only about getting enemies and killing them. Sometimes it's just about being there and being really annoying. And yeah, here we go, another kill for me. Well played from Aram with a flicker ult. That person knows what he or she is doing, and I can just farm freely in the enemy jungle because there's not really anyone to contest it anymore, because the enemy team has just switched to complete core defense, and they're not even doing a really good job on that just because there's so much behind. So another kill for me here. Diochen has been killed in our approach to get the core. Now we've got some minions here. This is the last tower. This is the last Zuka. Another kill for our team. And now we're just finishing off the last tower, just in order to really kind of plow the field for this, because sometimes there is this kind of comeback and you don't want to have this comeback with one tower still standing. But I think we managed to do it quite quickly and quite smoothly, and therefore we won the game. Aram is the MVP. I think she played the game really well. We are the champions. Thumbs up for all of my team because they actually played really good, and I'm the second best player in this case scenario with 8 kills, 3 deaths and 11 assists. I think I'm being second best damage with second best fight participation. So I really think that this shows how capable Moren is. He's a fun character. If you haven't played him, try him out. And yeah, if you manage to get a team like the enemy team with a little bit unexperienced players, you're going to have a blast. So thanks for watching. Have a nice evening and bye-bye.